Well, for most people in a financial crisis, the crisis didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, usually there are warning signs 2, even 3 years in advance that point to impending troubles. Andy Mattingly from Forum Credit Union is here to share what actions might indicate somebody is heading for trouble. So give us the first thing we want to look out for.
Well, the first thing is to look at credit card debt. If your credit card debt has been rising over the last 6 months, that's a real sign that you're headed towards a real issue.
And we talked about credit card debt there, as you were saying, but what about paying the minimum? Is that your warning sign if you're just doing the minimum?
Yeah, and if you pay it once in a while, just at a minimum, that's probably not a warning sign. But if you've been 6 months or more and your credit card debt is rising, that's a real issue.
And there is another warning sign that stems from the credit cards, right?
Yes. So you've maxed out all of your cards and you start opening up more cards so you can get more credit card debt.
Are there any less subtle signs, ones, because that seems pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Is there one that's not so obvious?
Yeah, one that sometimes people don't realize is that they have an emergency fund, but they start tapping it every month to pay their bills because it's become an emergency. And you don't realize that over time you've gotten rid of your emergency fund and then you have nothing left. And then you start using the credit card, so it kind of builds up.
And there are some other ones that can indicate you're overextended, right?
Yes, like if you stop all of your savings activities, if you cut back your 401k or end your 401k, or you stop putting money into your emergency savings, those are all signs that you could be heading to trouble.
You named some pretty obvious ones, some really great ones. Are there any signs that are often overlooked?
Yeah, probably one that's overlooked is all of the buy now and pay later. You know, you've got 18 months or 12 months. If you build up a lot of those, you're probably heading towards this big Armageddon of debt or payments coming on. So those are things you should stay away from.
Is this the kind of thing where people are saying, hey, you need to slow down? If people continually tell you that you're overextending yourself and you're getting into trouble, should you listen to them?
Yeah, you should listen. And I think the problem is that people don't realize if you look for these signs early, you can make it a lot easier to get out of. If you don't realize it until you're 2 or 3 months away from a financial crisis, you don't have as many options available to you if you start early and fix those problems.
You gave us some time periods there, 6 months, 2 or 3 months, things like that. When is it too early to maybe start noticing these warning signs? I mean, how far ahead should you really be looking?
You probably should always be looking at it, and we talk a lot about this. If you have a budget, you're going to realize it right away. So if you can get to yourself to budgeting, you're going to see these signs really early, and that's going to be a really good plan.
And lastly, it seems that it may take 2 or 3 years to build up and get into this issue. Doesn't it take even longer to get out once you're in?
Yes, sometimes it can take 3 to 5 years to get out, or even longer.
Andy, where can people find you?
At forumcu.com.
All right, thanks for that. As always, just before weather, let's get another look outside here. This is Monument Circle. You see the rain coming down. We just had the groundbreaking from IPL. It's a good thing, Lindsay. They have